Welcome, my name is Amanda Rose and I was analyzed as a deep winter. If you're a deep winter, then this video is for you. If you are a suspecting deep winter, this video is for you. When I finally knew that I was a deep winter, I did what probably you did right now, and you went on YouTube and you started typing deep winter outfits, deep winter makeup, and everything seemed so dark and moody, and it's just not my style. And so even though I was analyzed as a deep winter, I did feel like what I saw online just didn't match with my personality. If you're new to my color analysis journey, I highly recommend that you watch my other video on my channel, just one other video where I talk about my color analysis process. Now, I am not an expert. I'm sure that even some of the things that I am about to show you, there's gonna be some color analysis police in the comments saying, no, that belongs to a summer. No, that belongs to a soft whatever. I'm just sharing the things that I have purchased that I know look good on my complexion. But the goal is to give you a guide as to what I have found to be helpful for me when it comes to cheek colors and lip colors. Here is a list of my most worn, most flattering lip and cheek products for a deep winter. Okay, so first things first, I want you guys to see, I have this like huge Amazon box filled, but there's even more. I also have this, I just have so much. First things first are my Merit lip liners. You guys, these lip liners are just so easy. They are no fuss. They have like a gel-like consistency. They are really easy to apply. I actually like that they don't create like a harsh line like traditional lip liners, but they glide and they blend all at the same time. They're not that long lasting, but what Merit has done is that they have done an excellent job with the colors. The shades, the undertones are beautiful. This is Coupe. Coupe is truly my Your Lips but better. This next one is Bespoke, which is more of a brownie pink, but honestly, when I put it on, it almost looks gray or like a purple. And this one is my favorite because it lines but also contours my lip at the same time. And then the final one, which is the darkest, is Archival. Unfortunately, Archival was a part of a set, and I do not think that it is currently available. But if you wanted a substitute for Archival, I've also swatched Mayfair, and it's pretty close. It's not exact, but they definitely are close. So these are the tones, super cool toned, but most importantly, when I'm looking for lip liners or lipsticks, I've learned that anything with a really purpley undertone suits my complexion the best. The next one is from Wonder Skin, and this is the color Mauve. Oh my gosh, I definitely need to sharpen this, but just so you can see, this one definitely has a really, really intense purple undertone. The next one is an e.l.f. lip liner, and this is in the color Mauve Aside. I really do like this one, and I believe that this lip liner is like $3. So that is a really pretty color. The next one is from Morphe. It's called Makeup Talk, a really pretty color and lip liner that lasts super long. Then I have the classic Wherever Walnut, so you can kind of see where it is within that color family. It has a little bit more of like a nude, which is also really nice for contouring your lips. And then lastly, my newest obsession, which is from Colfi. I got the color Cherry Cherry. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but wow, so smooth, so purple, perfect. This is the one that I've been wearing to work, and I love all of them. As you guys can see, they're all within the same color family. They all have like that undertone that is pretty purple, but we definitely have one here that is very, very brown. I wish you guys could see. I'm definitely going to, oh, here we are. If I pull it away from my hand, this one, whatever this was that I swatched, I believe that this is Bespoke. This has the most brown undertone, which again is perfect for contouring. I'm telling you, when I put it on my lips, it looks more of like a gray brown than an actual warm brown. Now let's get into lipsticks. I just put over Merit's Archival. This by far is one of my favorite cool tone lipsticks. The only thing I don't like with Merit is that their lipsticks, I don't know if it's just me, but the bullet ends up detaching from the bottom. And so like, look, and so it's really dangerous because it can just like pop out. But this is their lip blush in Archival. And what I love about their lip blushes is that they are very light. So even look at the pigmentation. So you can easily get a pretty wash of color, but it's not going to be overwhelming. You can blot it and then even have a lighter coverage. That's what I like to do a lot with my lipsticks as well. I remember being younger and always seeing my mom blot her lipstick on a towel or a piece of, you know, napkin. And now I feel like that is something that I love to do because it just mattifies your lip and it also takes off any excess lipstick. The next one that is slowly becoming a new favorite is from Fui. This is new. This is in their color number 3, TTYL. It comes with a liner on one side, which I love. It is super purple in undertone, which is perfect. And it lasts forever. That lip liner does not budge. And then it comes with a lipstick color that is supposed to flatter the liner, but it is not exactly the same color. You could even see Archival and this are so similar. Archival is just more of a flush. It's really sheer in comparison, but I think this is a great deal because you get the liner and the lipstick. It is a little drying, so I would say definitely make sure that you put enough lip balm on or maybe a gloss over, but the color combination is exactly what we're looking for. Next is the lipstick that started it all for me. This is Maybelline Sensational More Mauve. This was the first lipstick that I realized, wait a second, I really need a purple tone lipstick in order to have my most flattering color. So you get to see truly how purple that lipstick color is. I love to wear this mostly in the summer. I do find in the winter it looks a little too intense on me. And so my compromise to that, which I have also shared in previous videos, was Maybelline's Knee High in these Teddy tints. This is a really good compromise. You have to make sure that they actually like dry and that you can give it some time to really settle in, because if not, they can be patchy. But I do feel like this is a good winter shade if you're looking for something that is lightweight, something that gives you that blurred out lip, and again, of course, having that purple undertone. The next one is from L'Oreal. This one has become a recent favorite. It is called Le Nude Admirable. Super affordable. I love the way that these glide. They just look so beautiful on the lips. And this is one that I will also wear a lot to work or even to church when I want something that's really subtle and not overwhelming. What about reds? Yes, there is a red for us. Is it my first option? No, but it is the way that I have been able to wear reds and really feel happy about it. Currently have on my lips is actually from Revlon and it's in the color First Class. That's this one right here that has more of a berry. It has a bit of like a pink undertone, this berry tone, but on my lips it still looks very, very red. And I think that what makes it is adding a lip liner. I added a lip liner from Makeup by Mario in the shade Travis. And that is my current lip combination. Together, it's a really pretty red. I feel like my face looks bright and vibrant. And you could also deepen this with a darker lip gloss, maybe more of like a darker red if it feels too bright for you. But this is the best red that I currently have in my collection, and it's really affordable as far as the lipstick. I hope this was helpful. Let's keep going. My last two lipstick options are actually really light toned. And the reason why I wanted to share this with you is because sometimes, just sometimes, we don't want to have too much of a dark lip and we want to brighten it up, maybe mute it out a bit, but not using a nude. L'Oreal's Ferris Nude and also their color Passion, what is it? Rose Passion have been my go-tos to lighten up a lipstick without it really being too much. So this is the Ferris Nude and this is the Rose Passion. Now let me show you when I put Rose Passion on top, the way it just lightened up the lipstick and gave me even more of like that light pinky rose tone and muted down maybe how deep or dark. So for me, these two are actually go-tos. I do use Rose Passion more than I do Ferris Nude, but this is really my way of being able to just lighten up a lipstick if I do feel like it's gotten a little bit too dark. And so these are my go-to colors. Ready for the next part? Blush. Woo! If there is a product that I have way too much of, it's blush. But I have some goodies. So first we're gonna start off with all of my cream blush options or liquid blush options. I have a lot from Merit because I partner with them. They have a really great range of either berry toned or just cool toned blushes. And then they also have really warm tone blushes. So I like that they cater to both. So let's start with if you are a little nervous about putting color on your cheeks and you're either new to makeup or you don't really like a bold cheek, but you want something that's really good for your complexion. I would say use Merit's color in, oh my gosh, I'm like done. Merit's color in Beverly Hills. This is a really balmy texture if you have oily skin. I'm not sure if you like the way that this actually fits on you, but for me, someone who has dry skin, I really love this. I love the sheen that it gives. And again, it is a cool tone. It's more like a neutral pink. So you're not gonna get that like super purpley undertone, but it's definitely more of a neutral pink. And I do think that it's a pink that will flatter a lot of different complexions. Cream blush, also from Merit, that I would recommend is the color Cheeky. Now some of these I'm not sure if they're still available, so you would have to check their website, but Cheeky is, oh my goodness, it is perfect. It is that perfect mauve tone. I love the way that it looks on my cheeks. It is such a pretty color, and again, this one has more of like that purple undertone to the blush. You can tell there. Next one from Merit is in the color Archival. You're noticing a theme here. I love their lip liner and I also love this blush. This blush has a very purple undertone to it. I would say more than the others, but it also kind of gives like a bit of a goldish sheen. So I really like this blush because it's unique and I do find that it just looks really nice on my cheek. And then finally, if you want like a deeper color and you're willing to experiment with also something a little bit brighter, this right here in the center is the color Apres or Apres, I don't know, A-P-R-E-S, but the E has an asterisk. But either way, super pretty. I will say this one leans the warmest out of all of them, but I do find that certain warm tones look good on deep winters. We don't have to necessarily be like in the purple line, even though that's what I find looks the nicest on me. This one is really pretty, and especially in the winter when my skin starts to get a little bit more golden, I love the way that this looks on my cheek. And then the others I would definitely use more in the winter time. My final four, it's actually quite embarrassing how much makeup I have, but it also feels so nice to know that I love all these colors. So the next one I'm going to show you is from Sachi Beauty. This one is the color I'm Guilty. This one I would say is the most muted and the most purple. This would look amazing on olive skin tones. It is truly like a gray purple. I find that in the winter, I love this. I'm not sure that this would even really show up on me in the summertime, but right now in the winter, that is just like a purpley gray, so pretty. And again, if you have an olive skin tone, I think that this purple is going to look like such a pretty pink on you. So that is one of my recent favorites. All-time favorite is from Say. Oh, it's in the color Chili, so I'm gonna blend it out so you can see the difference. Chili is, I believe, labeled on their website as a mauve, but I'm not really sure how mauve this is. It actually reminds me of a press or priest, a pre from, somebody tell me how to say it. From Merit. It definitely is way more vibrant. I love this color in the summertime. I can do this also too in the winter, but I prefer it in the summer. I'm going to show you a different shade from Say that I prefer instead. So that is the color Chili, still beautiful, but definitely more of a summer shade because you have a bit of that warmth underneath. One from Say that I do really like is the color Lady. And again, Lady is going to have that muted tone similar to the Sachi Beauty one. This, I will say, is gonna look a little bit more rosy. The Sachi Beauty is definitely more purple, like 100%, but they are so similar. This just has more of a rosy tone. That is just straight up gray and purple. I love this one. This is what I've been wearing on repeat to work, and then I've just been doing it with a little bit more of like a pungent powder blush. And then the last blush that I have is from Westman Atelier, and it is the color Petal. Petal, I think, is just a classic one. This is my mini, but I do find that this is the most like neutral pink. It's going to look good on so many different skin tones, and it definitely has a purple undertone, but it's just slightly different from the others when you see them. All right, the final blush that I will say has not much of a true mauve undertone, but the color is so pretty, and it is from Rhode. It is the color Tan Lines. This is it right here. Definitely is warm. It definitely looks like it was given something for the summer, but still on a deep winter, I think it's going to look beautiful. I've also seen pictures and swatches of Rhode's Sleepy Girl. I think that is probably the color for us during the winter, but I purchased this in the summer and I think it looks great, but again, that is a summer shade for me. I find that I'm not really gravitating towards this currently in the winter, but either way, a great shade for us. So let's continue with blush. First, I love these two blushes from L'Oreal. What I find is that when I purchase the ones that are labeled C, which is for cool tone, I think that the colors are really, really pretty. This one here, this is C3-4. You're not really going to see a lot of pigment with this blush. You could barely even see what it looks like when I swatch it. It looks like nothing. I think you can't even tell. But the reason why I wear this blush is oftentimes over one of my other blushes. So if I put on a liquid blush that I think is a little too intense, then I will go over it with this blush because I know it'll set my makeup, but it won't add an even deeper color. So believe it or not, I use this blush a lot oftentimes to set whatever liquid blush I put on because I don't want to make my cheeks look too dark. And so this is a really good alternative for that. If I'm going for a blush that I just want to have powder and I'm not really trying to layer, then I will also use this one from L'Oreal, which is the C7-8. So it looks like this, and then this is what it looks like swatched on my hand. So powder blushes are going to be a lot harder to show up. What I love about the L'Oreal ones is that these are so thin, like they don't come off thick and chunky. And for someone who could be heavy-handed with their makeup, I like this, especially in a blush. A lipstick, okay, because we can pat it off, but in a blush, I like when it's not so intense because I want to be able to add and not feel like I put too much. So these two are actually my go-tos for work. This one is called Pink Panna Cotta. It's their baked blush. This one again is also a really light color, so it's gonna be hard for you to be able to see it. I use it in the same way that I use the L'Oreal one. You're gonna notice that some of my blushes are really, really light because I have some that are just a little bit deeper when it comes to the liquid and the cream blush. So I like to set my makeup a lot of times with something that is a little bit more of a light pink so that I can still set it and then I don't have to feel like I added too much blush, because there are times where I definitely add too much blush. Now, if you're looking for a blush color, a powder blush that is definitely going to give you pigment, definitely going to give you a punch that you can see, then the next couple of blushes are for you. The next blush is from Persona. This is in the color Caramel. Let me try swatching here because my skin is a little lighter here, so you guys will be able to see the colors a little bit better. Like a rose as opposed to like a straight purple. If you're looking for a matte blush that has a great formula and a really good color that is cool toned, Caramel is it. The next one I've been hooked on is from Say Beauty. Say is just my cheek products at the moment, and this one is in the color Mia. I love these blushes. They are like that Barely There blush. Let's see if we could even see it. It's that Barely There blush. It has that pink undertone, but this one definitely has more of like a yellow or a gold that is peeking through. But on top of any of those blushes, it is perfection. And it is so light, so thin. You get a pretty decent amount of product for how much you have to put on. And again, I love it. It's definitely more rosy than Caramel, but still a great blush option. I also have Say's Grazy. Now Say's Grazy is a bit of an interesting one. I personally have to be careful with this one because it is quite pigmented and darker. I would apply this one without having anything else on under. I would not really layer a cream blush because then I feel like it would be too impactful. This is one that I would put on its own and then just give myself that wash of color that I want. But it's so pretty. Definitely a purple tone. You can definitely see that it's more purple than Mia. And I love it. It is such a beautiful color. Another blush, if you're looking for something affordable and you want to just see what a really dark blush would look like on your cheeks, then I have this one from Essence. It is in the color Roses to Berry. It is a very deep berry color and it is very impactful. This is a great color. I'm excited to wear this more in the summertime. The final blush that I have that I really like, but I just don't grab for it as much as I thought I would. I think it's a little bit too, it's not shimmery, but I think that it can look a little bit muddy sometimes if I'm not careful with my application. But this is the RMS blush in the color Kir Royale. Now the color itself is so pretty and it comes off very like rosy. You see the sheen, it's beautiful. But I think depending on how I apply my makeup, sometimes that sheen just kind of doesn't sit well on my cheeks. But the color itself is really nice. I'm going to go back and see if I could actually swatch the other blushes, the L'Oreal blushes. This is the 3-4, which was the really light one. Let's see if we can see it here. Barely. Barely, but honestly, that's what I love about it. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I love about it, that I can layer it on top of a blush that I already have, and it's not going to completely like change the blush color. Sometimes you just like your liquid or your cream blush, but it doesn't last all day. So this has been the way that I can have my blush last all day without completely transforming the cheek color. And then let's try this one, the 7-8. Okay, we can see that a little bit here. Let me try to get more. Just don't want to dig into it too hard, you know? Okay, there we go. So maybe for some of you, you're like, it's not pigmented enough, but I personally really like that because it's harder to make a mistake with your blushes. So if I'm being honest, I don't wear a lot of eyeshadow. I find that eyeshadow sometimes can compete with my lipstick, and I prefer to have a bold pink lip as opposed to eyeshadow. Today I have eyeshadow on, and it's just like this taupe glittery shadow, and I think that it works really well, but I am someone that finds that I do have to be careful because obviously anybody can overdo it. So I like very muted tones on my eyes so that I can really emphasize my lips and my cheeks. That's just the type of makeup that I've always preferred on myself and gravitated towards. But I do have some eyeshadows. I'll show them because I love them. The first one is from Maybelline. This one is called I Am Cheeky. This is very much like a taupe color. It has that bit of that gray undertone. It looks like a gray and a purple, and it's actually what I have on my eyelids right now. I think that it's really pretty. It's subtle. It's like my version of a glitter shadow without being too obvious and without it overpowering my face. These are from Merit. These specifically are the ones that are like glittery. I have the shade Grazy, and Grazy is what I put in my inner corner. So this is actually the combination that I have on my eyes. I have this on my lid and this on my inner corner, which is more of like a pinky champagne color, and I love it. I think that it looks perfect. Okay, here from Natasha Denona, I have this palette here that is called the Mini Rose palette. I love these colors. They have more of like that cool toned undertone, and this color in particular is really, really beautiful. The next one I have is also a Natasha Denona palette. This is her Mini Eye Sculpt palette. This I use all of the time, especially this color here. This one and these two are like my favorite. I know that she came out with a cool toned one as well, but I'm satisfied with this one. And then this one here from Makeup Forever, this one is called Sunrise. This is the most gold out of all of them. But I do find that, again, I like this one the most in the summertime, and this lasts forever. So you'll notice that even this gold has more of like a gray undertone. It's not necessarily too in your face. Those are usually the shades that I will go for if I am looking for an eyeshadow, something that doesn't look too orange or too warm, but they kind of teeter in that neutral zone, and that is what these shades do. And that is it. Wow, we went through so many different products, but I hope that you guys found this video helpful so that you can go out and swatch these specific colors, find ones that you think will work for you, and then you can stop spending money on shades that you know are not flattering. Forget the trends, forget what is cool, what they say is trending when it comes to a bronzy color or whatever the case is. Stick to shades that you know are going to make you look your best, because that is the goal for finding out all of that information about color analysis. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure that you like it, that you subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next one.